What if your superhero power was completely useless? No strength, no flight, no healing factor. Just an ability that can't help anyone, not even yourself. That's the story of Bailey Hoskins, the so-called worst X-Men ever. And his story? It's a tragic comic punchline Marvel used to say something devastating about identity, heroism, and hope. Bailey Hoskins is just a regular teenager. Average grades, average social life, average in every way. And then one day, his parents drop a bomb. They're mutants, and so is he. To Bailey, this changes everything. He's finally special, finally part of something bigger. And when X-Men show up to recruit him, his dreams kick into overtime. But there's a catch, a massive one. His mutation? Self-detonation. He can explode. Once. That's it. He goes out with a bang and does not come back. Think about that. Bailey's mutation is literally a one-time suicide move. He's not Wolverine with regeneration, no Cyclops with energy blast, not even someone like Jubilee who gets mocked for her powers. Bailey is a walking joke, a martyr without a cause. And the X-Men, they don't really know what to do with him. Beast analyzes him, Cyclops shrugs. It's brutal, but also the thesis of the book. This isn't just a story about powers, it's about purpose. About being told you're special and realizing that maybe you're not in the way you hoped. The comic X-Men, Worst X-Men Ever, is written by Max Bemis and illustrated by Michael Walsh. It walks a fine line between comedy and tragedy. It parodies everything. The melodrama of mutant culture, the endless superpowered battles, the revolving doors of death and resurrection in X-Men lore. Bailey's story is packed with fourth wall jabs and over-the-top cameos, but it never loses sight of its core, a kid who wants to matter. He watches other mutants soar, blaze, shapeshift, and he can't do anything about it. Worse, everyone knows he's useless. They treat him like a mascot, a ticking time bomb no one wants to see go off. But that's the genius of the comic. It's not about powers, it's about how we measure value in a world obsessed with greatness. Midway through the journey, Bailey's offered something incredible, a chance to become important. There's a future timeline where he is the most powerful mutant ever. A ruler, a savior, the opposite of what he's been told. All he has to do is use his power. But he hesitates, because if he explodes, that's it. No second chances, no heroic arc, just boom. And so he doesn't. Instead of fulfilling his destiny, Bailey chooses to not matter. He rejects the idea that he has to blow himself up to prove his worth. It's a tragic inversion of the classic hero's journey. And honestly, that choice makes him more heroic than half the X-Men. Eventually, things get worse. After a chaotic multiversal event, the timeline resets. The status quo returns. Mutants continue to be born, fight, love, and die. But Bailey, he gets erased. No one remembers him. Not the X-Men, not the world, not even the universe that once promised his greatness. He becomes the ultimate forgotten mutant. Not because he failed, but because he chose not to sacrifice himself for a spotlight he didn't want. The title of the book isn't a lie. Bailey is the worst X-Men ever. But it's not because of his powers. It's because he's the only one who won't play the game. He won't die for glory. He won't live for fame. He exists between the panels. Unwanted, uncelebrated, and totally heartbreakingly real. This is what makes the comic so affecting. It's not just poking fun at superhero tropes, it's asking a gut punch question. What if the world doesn't need you? What if your dreams are out of reach? Can you still matter? Bailey's story says, maybe not in the way you imagine, but yes, you can. Because sometimes being a hero isn't about powers, it's about knowing who you are and refusing to let anyone define your worth. X-Men, the worst X-Men ever, is funny, cynical, and absurd, but underneath it all, it's deeply human.